guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the lockdown lessons. I'm Marcus Cordock, and today we're going to be looking at the major scale. The major scale is something that you've probably all heard a million times before. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Excuse the singing. We're going to look at the C major scale, and we're going to look at the first finger position for that. The notes are C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C again. And that's the octave. So for the fingering that we're going to look at, we're going to start with our second finger on the 3rd fret on the A string. Okay, we're going to go to the 4th finger on that same string, which is the D. First finger goes up to the 2nd fret on the D string. 2nd finger on the 3rd fret of the D string. 4th finger on the 5th fret of the D string. 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the G string. 3rd finger on the 4th fret of the G string. And then the 5th one goes on the 5th fret, and the 4th finger on the 5th fret. God, this is complicated. So we're going to go through the fingering of it. We're going to go 2nd finger, 4th finger, up to the next string. 1st finger, 2nd finger, 4th finger, up to the next string. 1st finger, 3rd finger, 4th finger. So it's 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4. And then on the way back down, same thing, same notes. 4th finger, 3rd finger, 1st finger, 4th finger, 2nd finger, 1st finger, 4th finger, 2nd finger. So we'll try that together, just slowly, making sure what we were learning on the last lesson, with the technique of making sure that we're getting all the fingers down. There's one finger per note, and we're making sure that there's a finger for every fret, and that our fingers are always in the right position to play the next note. So we'll do this together in 1, 2, 3, 4. Back down. Good, and again, 2nd finger, 4th finger, 1st finger, 2nd finger, 4th finger, 1st finger, 3rd finger, 4th finger. And back down. Okay, so like everything that we're looking at, I recommend practicing everything with a metronome just to build up that steady time. Start slow, that kind of speed that we were doing, you can build it up. And so on and so forth. But just make sure that we're keeping each note nice and clear and we can hear each note. We're fretting well. There's no funny noises going on, and we're just really accurate with that. Okay, great. So now that we've got the C major scale in that position, we can actually play with the same hand shape, the same fingering. We can play the C major scale starting on the C on the E string, which is on the 8th fret. Okay, and that's same hand position, same fingering, and we can play the C major up here, which is on the 15th fret of the A string. So you've got that, with that hand position, you've got that C major scale in different positions. The great thing about this is that if somebody said, we're going to play this song in a different key, so we're going to look at D major, well, that works exactly the same. We could just move that shape, that fingering and hand position up to starting on the D, which is the 5th fret in the A string, with the 2nd finger, D major, or F, F major, G major, E flat major, and we've got that all over the neck, that hand position. So great, that's the major scale, and we know that we can apply that same hand position to any position on the neck. Before we move on, I just want to take a second to mention how we're going to talk about the major scale from now on. Rather than thinking about each note as in C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, if we're playing C major, we'll assume that we all know what the notes are, and we'll just think about it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we've just taken a number and associated that with each number in sequence of the major scale. Okay guys, so what we're going to do now is a quick exercise for the major scale. This one we're going to do in C, but you can do this on any of the keys that you fancy. And rather than playing the major scale as a sequence, we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, we're going to mix it up. So we're going to go 1, 3, 2, 4, 3, 5, 4, 6, 5, 7, and so on. That's just to let you hear it. I'll call the notes out, the numbers of the notes of the scale. So we'll go 1, 3, 2, 4, 3, 5, 4, 6, 5, 7, 6, 8, 7. And when we get to there, we're going to slide up to the 7th fret of the G string, which would be back to the 2nd, an octave above the 2nd, or you can call that the 9th. And we're going to play 7, 9, and finish on the octave. So that slowly is 1, 3, 2, 4, 3, 5, 4, 6, 5, 7, 6, 8, 7, 9, and finish on the octave. That's a bit of an exercise for me, just having to call the numbers out when I'm trying to do it. But we got there. But on the way back down, we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to go 8, 6, 7, 5, 6, 4, 5, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1, 2. We're going to go down to the 2nd fret, which is just a semi-fret below the C, finish on the C. So that's 8, 6, 7, 5, 6, 4, 5, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1, 2, B, finish on the C. Okay? And again, practice this with a metronome, starting slow, and then when we build up a bit of speed. Okay? that's just a great exercise to get used to all of the notes within that major scale. It's great being able to play them in a sequence, but it's also good being able to jump around and come up with new creative ways to navigate through that scale. It's great when it comes to coming up with your own bass lines, and also later on when you maybe start looking at some soloing techniques and things like that as well. So finally, I just want to leave on one last thing for this week, and it's gonna be a bit of an exercise, not just in the playing and learning new songs, but a really important skill for a musician is actually listening. And I don't mean just listening to music to enjoy it. I'd like to think that we all enjoy listening to music, or else we wouldn't be here today sitting with our instruments and things. So it's great that we can listen to all of our favourite music and enjoy it, but also we should be able to every now and then take the time for some practice listening, if we can call it that, and try and find some of these things that we're going to be talking about in the next 10 weeks in the songs that we love. So one of the exercises that I want for you to do is to go away and maybe look for the major scale or some of those things in some of your favourite songs, and there's plenty of them because they're absolutely everywhere. I'm going to give you a few examples just to get you started on listening for the major scale in some of your favourite songs and things, or if it's just listening to the radio and you hear something, you go, okay, I recognise that, and then take it another step further and actually go and try and figure out the bass line, maybe find the key first and then use that hand position, and you should be able to play a lot of those bass lines within that core hand position. So for example, so that's the classic Stand By Me, a legendary bass line, that's the hook of that song. As soon as you hear that bass line, you know what song that is. So that just shows you how important the bass line is, and it also shows you how important the major scale is. And all of those notes are just part of that A major scale. Okay, we can look at one a bit more modern, like so again, that's all just notes in the C major scale. The only time is with this one is that it's actually across 2 octaves of the major scale. So all of those notes can be found within that C major. Okay. And one more, something like Jackson 5 in A flat. Okay, so again, A flat major, all those notes all belong to that hand position that is our major hand position. and so it's just descending down the major scale. And again, one of the coolest, funkiest bass lines of the time. So yeah, loads of stuff that we can do, loads of stuff that we can learn, and most importantly guys, have fun, and we'll see you next week. Take care.